Most gaming PCs aren't slow because the hardware is weak. They're slow because the environment was never set up correctly. After years of tweaking competitive gaming setups, I've noticed something. Most systems aren't underpowered, they're just misconfigured. Before we touch a single game setting, we fix the foundation. Welcome to Tech Life Optimization. I'm Joe. Today we're running a signal check on your system. We're identifying your hardware, cleaning up startup programs, disabling unnecessary overlays, and making sure your machine is actually configured to perform, instead of stuttering in high-pressure PvP situations and making you question your life choices.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
When your system runs clean, stress levels go down, and that's one less thing you have to worry about. This channel is about building systems that reduce friction, not just for your tech, but also your life in general. If this brings value, subscribe to stay in the loop, optimize your tech, optimize your life. Let's get into it. Your PC is probably launching 15 to 20 apps every time you boot, most of which you never asked for. So let's clean that up. You can press Ctrl-Shift-Escape to bring up Task Manager, or you can right-click on the taskbar and open Task Manager that way. So let's go ahead and do that. So right-click down here, in Task Manager. So now it's in simple view. All you got to do is press more details, go to startup, and maximize that so you can do everything a little bit easier. So this is just a list of everything Windows tries to launch the moment you log in. We're not uninstalling anything, we're just deciding what actually deserves to start automatically. And here's the rule I use. If I don't need it every single time I boot, it does not start with Windows. Drivers, security software, and core hardware tools stay enabled. Everything else is optional. As you can see, most of mine are disabled. You can see the status right here and it says disabled. I do leave my Google Drive on because I'm constantly syncing files. I also leave SteelSeries on because I use Sonar for audio routing. And Windows Security right down here is obviously stays on. Everything else, launchers, chat apps, music apps, I'll open when I need them. I'll show you one example of how to disable one of these apps, and all you have to do is right click, disable. That's it. Still works, it just won't auto launch when Windows starts. What you'll notice after this is faster boot time, less background CPU and RAM usage, fewer pop-ups, less of that my PC feels busy feeling. This won't double FPS, but it reduces friction and it makes performance more consistent. All right, now your startup is clean. Now let's audit overlays because stacked overlays will also affect performance. For overlays, we're not disabling everything. We're just checking to see what's running. First, we're going to go ahead and open up Discord. So close or minimize Task Manager. Open up Discord. Maximize your screen so you can see the settings. Click on user settings at the bottom left. And then scroll all the way down till you see activity settings, and then you're going to see game overlay. So what we're going to do is we're going to toggle off enable overlay, and then also toggle off enable legacy overlay. And this is an in-game overlay. It just lets you see who's talking, which is useful, but it's still another layer sitting on top of your game. When I turned these two overlays off, my PC stopped stuttering in game and my performance was much smoother. If you're not actively using it, disable both. Once those are off, Discord isn't injecting anything into your game. Next, we're going to focus on NVIDIA. So go ahead and close out Discord or minimize it. Go to the search bar, NVIDIA app. All right, we're going to go to settings. And I wouldn't worry too much about this NVIDIA overlay. I mean, basically a lot of gamers like this because it shows your FPS counter. But if you're using OBS, press Alt-D and disable the following. First, highlights, capture highlights, toggle that off. Then go to instant replay, toggle that off. Then go to settings, video capture, and toggle that off as well. So instant replays runs a rolling buffer in the background. If OBS is already recording, you don't need two systems doing the same job. Next, we're going to open Steam so we can close out of NVIDIA. Open Steam. So Steam has overlays too. It's convenient, you know, friends, browser, FPS counter, but convenience has a cost. If you don't use it, it's clean to disable. So you want to go to Steam settings and scroll down to in-game. Enable the Steam overlay while in-game. You can turn that off. and then go down to game recording and just make sure recording is off as well. All right, now that we're done with Steam, we can go ahead and close that out. The next thing I want to talk about is Xbox Game Bar. I currently don't have this on my PC, but you can access it by clicking the Windows button on your keyboard and G. Then go to Settings, Gaming, Xbox Game Bar, and then just toggle that off. Xbox Game Bar is built into Windows. If you record in OBS, this becomes redundant. Leaving it on isn't the end of the world, but if you don't use it, disable it to reduce background noise. The goal isn't to remove everything. The goal is to see what's running and be intentional. If you stack multiple overlays, you stack overhead and the chance of weird conflicts. At this point, your system is running only what it actually needs. Fewer background processes, fewer redundant overlays, cleaner boot, cleaner gameplay. Next, we'll verify performance properly, CPU, GPU, and memory, so you're not guessing. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.